How are you? This is Lois. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well and healthy wherever you are. I am well here. If this is your first time, you are welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please do stop and subscribe. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and I'm based in Calgary, Alberta. And you're going to see when you go through my channel that I make a lot of videos on Canadian immigration programs, how to qualify for them and how to apply for them. And on top of that, I also make videos about life in Canada because believe you me, once you know how life is here, then you're able to make better immigration decisions. Because a lot of people are worried, they don't know what happens here. So I'm your eyes, I'm your ears. I tell you what happens on the ground, what a lot of people shy away from telling you the truth, because I tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly, because there is no perfect place. But this place is good all the same. So that is why I tell you about this kind of stuff. So this video, today's video, is the video that I promised a lot of you. This is the video about immigrating for the sake of your children. I just want to say that, immigration is not for everybody, and I know you know that. So it's for people who have that strong desire. And not just a strong desire, it's having a strong desire and being eligible. Okay? But I know there's a class of people who have that. They have that strong desire, they are eligible, but they are worried. They are scared about the unknown, which is okay because, we are human. We get scared about the unknown. And others, they are looking for an excuse or a reason. So I am here to give you that reason, like that one good reason why you should immigrate. And this, as I said, is immigrating for your children. So of course, it's for people who have children, regardless of the age, as long as they are your dependent children under 22 years. And not just that, it's for people also who don't have children, but look forward to starting a family in future in this country. So what is in this country for your child's future? Because you as a grown-up, you're grown up, you're successful, you're doing okay, you know how to hustle. But I know at the back of your mind as a parent, you're worried. You keep asking yourself, what's going to happen to my child or to my children when it's time for them to face the world, to face the unemployment of your local economy, to face the world as it is wherever you are. So that is why I'm telling you this is a perfect place to immigrate for the sake of the children. And now I want to tell you why. Of course, every place has the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I will start with the bad and the ugly, just so that we can get rid of that and move to positive things that are progressive. Okay? So the ugly, of course, is things like drugs and alcohol. There is a chance that, your children, that there's that off chance that they may slip through the cracks and get into alcohol and drugs. But guess what? That can happen anywhere in the world, simply because in this part of the world, those things are easily accessible. So I'm not here to give you a lecture on parenting. I'm sure you're a good parent wherever you are. Those are things you just have to take up as a parent, the same way you would do in your country. Okay? So that should not be discouraging you. The bad. One of the bad things about immigrating, especially when you're bringing children to this country, is that aspect of uprooting your children from their support system, from their comfort zone, and children do get destabilized. All the same, kids are resilient and they are highly adaptable. So I have talked about this in another video about setting your kids for success, so you may want to look at that. But transition is not easy for immigrating children, and especially in their youth. early teenage, it can be a little hard. So there is a time whereby you as a parent, the dream is yours to immigrate. Remember, kids can thrive anywhere. So the dream is yours, but what happens when you bring your kids over, you should know, you should be cognizant of the fact that you uprooted your kids from somewhere. They are going to be facing changes. They're going to need to settle down. You're going to need to be very patient with them. Set them up with government programs. Here, this place has government programs to help your kids settle, just so that they don't also fall through the cracks that we talked about there. They don't get into bad company. Okay, right. The other bad, and I know a lot of people send me emails, they're like, could you please talk about childcare? And yes, I know childcare is damn expensive here. And in this country, kids who are under 12 should not be staying home alone. So that is one of the things that really actually discourages people with children. But people immigrate with children all the time, and I'll tell you just how to go around that. So you're going to find that if you're a new mom or a new parent, maternity can go up to 18 months or even 2 years if you do a combined parental leave. So the first 2 years of your child's life is not gonna be so hard because you are home with your child and you're still getting paid over maternity, okay? But from the age of 2 to the age of 12, that is 10 years whereby you need to figure out just how to take care of your children, because a lot of people here don't afford nannies. It's not like where I come from, whereby labor is cheap, so we were able to afford 1 or 2 nannies. This country, nannies can be quite expensive, so a lot of people don't have nannies. So you can do this. Usually what I see parents doing is they work together, husband and wife, just so they work on a good schedule. So if someone is working on a shift, then the other one is home taking care of children. That way your kids are not alone for a long time. The other one is that you can still take your kids to daycare, but then apply for government subsidies. And especially if you're a new immigrant and you guys are not making a lot of money, you qualify for government subsidies. On the other hand, your child care expenses, you can still claim a portion of that in your taxes. So every tax year, tax time, you can claim that in your taxes. The other thing is that you can join hands, and this one, this is very practical. I've seen it in Kenyan families here, whereby parents join hands with other parents, like you form some kind of cohort families, whereby one family takes care of your children when you're working, or you carpool and you arrange that this person is picking the kids and the other one is dropping the kids. So you help each other, and that really works. And especially for single parents, I see that working really well here. You just need to have good friends whom you have good values, the similar values, and you're able to help each other like that. Okay, we also have day homes, not just daycare. We do have day homes in the communities, and they are usually cheaper, so you may want to look at day homes. They are usually a cheaper option than daycares. If you have money, you can always hire a nanny. Yes, and then you don't have to worry about your children and housekeeping and stuff like that. One other thing that I have seen, once you're here as a permanent resident or a Canadian citizen, you are able to bring your parents, and you can bring your parents from abroad to help you take care of your children. That is what a lot of people here do. They bring their parents either on the super visa, or they sponsor them to live with them. That way they know that there's someone at home all the time, so you don't have to worry about taking your kids to daycare. So those are things that you can use to work around that child care aspect. Okay, all right, so now we are past that. Okay, we have taken care of that. Now we want to know exactly why you want to bring what is in this place for your children. Okay, all right, first I'm going to talk about the obvious thing, which is free education, and that is for elementary and secondary schools. So that is paid through the taxes that you pay. So you don't have to worry about school fees. And coming from where I come from, we paid a lot of money into school fees, and here you do not pay that. That is for elementary and high school. Okay? The other thing is high quality education. World-class education. You all know that Canada is a top destination for international students, so they are able to get quality education that is recognized anywhere and everywhere in the world. Okay, you also give them that international platform, and that international platform exposes them to the world, and they can also work anywhere in the world. Okay, all right. So, and also you're going to find that unemployment is not so high in this country, so chances of your children getting jobs is high. And now I'm gonna say that actually here in this country, kids are able to work from the age of 14. So those are kids who are just going to high school, and what that means is that your kids can work weekends. They do take shifts in restaurants, in stores, over the weekend, and kids actually do earn maybe up to $1,000 a month. And you're going to find that what that does is that it gives these children a work experience, real life experience. So by the time they are joining the workforce formally after graduating, they are already well adjusted. They know how to work with grown-ups. They know how to work systems. They are awesome people to work with. The other thing also about that, remember I said that they can earn up to $1,000 a month just working weekends. And for kids who don't have responsibilities and they are not partying a lot, you as a parent, you can model your children towards a saving culture. And this saving culture, what it does is that these kids are able to save for vacations. You see kids vacationing a lot. They are able to travel because they can fund it. They are able to save for vacations, or they are even able to save for even property. I've seen this so many times, believe you me. I've seen kids in this country, 22, 23, 24, who are able to buy property, their own property. They're able to buy their own condos, and they live in their own properties simply because they were able to save through school. And of course, these kids, most of them, they didn't have student loans that plagued them, because one thing that I have seen that really works against kids is high school loans that they have to repay after school. And I'll tell you exactly how to counter that. This country has a wonderful program still for children. It's called the RESP. The RESP is the Registered Education Savings Plans, and this is a saving plan that is aimed to help parents save for their children's post-secondary education, because the government does try to encourage post-secondary education. So what the government actually does is that it encourages you to save by matching. So you save in a year, you contribute towards your kids' education kitty, and then the government matches by giving you 20% of what you save, up to a maximum of $2,500, okay, per year. All right, so you see that if you're able to save $2,500 per year, 20% is $500. So every year you are able to save for a child $3,000. If you save that for 10 years, then your kid has $30,000. Guess what? If you put that money into aggressive mutual funds, then that money has already generated a lot of income, and by the time your kid goes to university, maybe you have up to $50,000. You have no excuse for not taking your child to university, and unless maybe they're going to med school, that amount of money is enough to take your kid through university. And what that does is that usually then these kids don't have high student debts. They don't have student loans to be paying. So they graduate, they don't have student loans, they don't have stress, because you know student loans can be quite stressful. They don't have stress. These kids are able to transition into the labor force, and they are able now to even get their property and move and have some savings and lead and have a good kickstart at life. Okay? All right, so RESP is one of the reasons why you should come to this country, because then you will be able to fund your child's education without a lot of stress, without having to worry, oh, where am I going to get school fees from? Okay? All right. The other one that I want to talk about, it's a big, 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 big thing. Is remember I talked about an international platform. The Canadian government has an immigration program. Yes, an immigration program that is called the International Experience Class. And this is a class for youth who are Canadian citizens, whereby they can work and travel abroad for up to between 1 and 2 years through this international travel and work abroad options. So what the Canadian government has done, it has gone ahead and signed an agreement, a reciprocal agreement with 33 countries, whereby Canada can send its youth to these countries, and youth from those countries can come to Canada on open work permits. Yes, to travel and work. So what that does is that these kids are able to get valuable international work experience to take their careers to the next level, and they are able to join the global workforce. So they get the best experience, they get to experience the world, they get to experience different economies, and they are able to discover their strengths and get inspired. What is better than that? And I know you're looking at me and you're like, Lois, that doesn't concern me, because you're talking about Canadian citizen youth, and this is the youth between 18 and 35 Canadian citizen. How does that apply to you? It does really apply to you because you are an aspiring immigrant, or you're working hard to have your application processed. What that means, you land in Canada as a permanent resident. After 3 years, you will be eligible to apply for Canadian citizenship. And I'm going to be I'll make a video about how to get Canadian citizenship. So once you become a Canadian citizen, yes, in up to 3 years, maybe you had small kids. Now they are teenagers, they are 18, they are able to join this program. And now they can look for opportunities outside Canada, and they can, they can experience an adventure. I'm just going to go through the list of these 33 countries just so that you see the kind of countries that Canada is working with to help you children acquire global work experience. There's Australia, there's Austria, there's Belgium, Chile, Costa Rica, Croatia, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, France, Germany, Greece, Hong Kong, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Korea, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Poland, Portugal, San Marino, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, and United Kingdom. So through this program, it's very easy for your child to apply for a work permit. They get work permits easily, flexibly, and inexpensively because it's funded by the Canadian government. And the goal of this program is to encourage Canadian youth to go outside Canada to gain international work experience. That is one of the best programs that you should be looking at, you should be eyeing. So those are the kind of goals that you should be looking at as a would-be immigrant. Okay? Have I still convinced you? I don't know if I have convinced you yet why you should immigrate for the sake of your children. But I just want to touch on something, one more thing before I go, is the child benefits. Yes, Canada does have some really awesome child benefits at the federal level and at the provincial level. So you're going to find that, especially when you're a new immigrant and you guys are not making a lot of money per year, you guys can benefit a lot from the child benefits. So the child benefits, the Canada child benefits, you can get up to 6,600 per year for kids who are under 6 years. Okay, and you can also get about 5,600 per year per child who is between 6 and 17 years. So these are benefits, these are benefits that you get after you file your taxes for the previous years, and they are based on the family income from the previous year, the number of children in your under your care, and the age of these children. So you find that especially that first 1 year, when you guys haven't earned a lot of money, you are going to get almost the maximum of these child benefits. And what you can do is that money can help you kickstart your child's savings, the kitty for the RESP that we just talked about. You can take that money and put it into an RESP program, and that now sets your kids post-secondary education in motion. You're already securing their post-secondary education. Okay, did I convince you enough? So anyway, those are the reasons as to why you should immigrate to this country for the sake of your child. So we've talked about the work, everything. There is work, there is opportunities, there is education, there is endless. And one more before I go is that actually in this country, your kids can prosper in almost any trade, any skill. So if your kids are not book smart, they are not going to law school, med school, all those schools, if they're not into that, your kids can do trades here and do really well. I talked about the trades in Canada. You want to look at that, but you can see just how much these trades pay. So whether it's into construction, plumbing, carpentry, whatever, kids can prosper in this country. Mechanics, they earn good living in this country. So they don't necessarily have to be book smart. As long as they are, they can get the right technical skills, your kids can prosper in the blue collar world. So what is better than that? And that one I know, especially in my country, whereby people who have trades, they don't have a chance. Most of them don't have a chance of success. Okay, all right, thank you so much for keeping it here. I will see you at my next video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like this video, share it with your friend. Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye.